here strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's... Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us!
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no...
You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not a Harbinger anymore?
I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you serious about this?
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that?
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him!
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. It seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great, thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Wow, it looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at...
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards, but right now, I'm on temporary release, so maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Fine, let's call it truce, but only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy, it's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow! So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh, Paimon's never seen anything like this, and it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
did go running off in here, what would happen? What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Oh, how interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gesse got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself, and making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light, it looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement! You have to share it with us!
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place, like a giant village. People are gainfully employed, their lives have purpose. They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatarasuna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. and it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatara Suna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me, creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Hey, are you all right?
Dottore. Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so. but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the kabuki mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as the mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly! So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible!
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Tottori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow. Oh no, he's really gone!
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out!
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
Have you packed all your things? Make sure you brought the onigiri and rice cakes your mother prepared.
Don't worry. I have them all. They're going to last me days. Take care of yourselves while I'm out. And make sure you remind Mom to take her medicine on time. If running the store gets a bit too much, take some time off and wait for me to return.
Oh, Yoimiya, your mother and I got so worried when we heard that you were going so far abroad. We've never left the country, so we don't know how Outlanders might view us Inazumans, or if they'd even be willing to speak to us.
Oh, relax. Outlanders are friendly and warm. Look at Toma from the Yashiro Commission. He's originally from Mondstadt, but everyone thinks he's a top-tier guy.
A mop tier? What mop? Oh! Do you mean the broken one at home? I just fixed it today, actually.
No! I said top, not mop. You know, Toma even sent us some wine from his homeland not too long ago.
We haven't heard this kind of friendly banter in a while, huh?
Oh, hey you two! It's been a long time, hasn't it? I'm excited because I'm going on a trip soon. Many things have changed. Lots of Outlanders have come to Inazuma, and lots of Inazumans have gone out as well. You two have been adventuring all over Teyvat, so you might not be able to understand, but for us, this is a long-awaited chance to go out and fulfill our dreams.
That's right, the Sakoku decree is gone.
Ah, I remember you two. You're Yoimiya's friends, yes? Word of your incredible accomplishments has spread throughout Inazuma. My daughter's a big fan of yours. She said she'd love to be like you two.
Come on, Dad. Who's never dreamed of becoming a hero? Oh, thanks. But I'm just your average artisan. The quiet life suits me better. But if an opportunity presents itself, why not try to show your stuff, right?
All right. Did you two come over today to order some fireworks?
Oh, sorry. I got carried away. Well, I'm gone. Dad's in charge of making fireworks. You've seen how skilled he is, so there's nothing to worry about.
Oh no, we aren't here to do business or anything. We just happen to be passing by.
Oh, so we're all here with time to spare? What a treat! In that case, let's chat some more. I'm not in a rush anyway.
Sure. So, where are you planning to go?
No clue.
Huh?
I say that, but I do have a travel goal. To see Teyvat's grandest meteor shower. But I don't know when or where it'll happen. So, I figured I can search while I travel.
That's it? No details? Nothing?
Not right now. Since this meteor shower was originally something like a family legend. A long time ago, the Naganaharas were inspired to create new fireworks after watching such a meteor shower. Dad says that inspiration is a combination of what you see and what you know. different people can see the same thing, but have different thoughts. Inazuma today is completely different from how it was in the past. If I can see this meteor shower, I'm sure I'll be able to come up with a new kind of firework. I know, right? Of course, my main reason is that I want to go and look outside Inazuma.
No need to be shy about it. You gotta play hard when you get the chance.
You know, you're right, Paimon. Is it just me, or have you gotten wiser since we first met?
Paimon loves being friends with you since you say such nice things.
Sumeru. I've heard of it. It has a ton of trees, a super impressive school, and a massive desert.
Yep, and everyone there is really smart, so Paimon's sure you'll get some answers from them about the meteor shower.
Really? But won't research people make fun of me or something if I ask them about a legend?
We won't know if something's real or not unless we ask. Don't worry, we got solid connections in there. Well, she does anyway.
Wouldn't I be taking up your time, though? I doubt this was in your schedule.
Exactly! Relax, Yoimiya. You've helped us plenty of times before.
All right, then I accept your offer. Let's have some fun at Sumeru. Dad, you can have more peace of mind now that I'm traveling with them, right?
Yes. Your mother and I will be much more at ease.
Remember, you two also need to take care of yourselves. I'll be back soon. Okay, let's head to Rito and catch a boat there. Wow, so this is Sumeru? That tree's huge! Is the port built on top of it? And this place is amazing! It's way bigger than Rito's port. There are also a lot more stores here.
Oh, there's more cool stuff for you to see. Don't you worry.
This place is awesome! I had heard people describe it, but nothing beats seeing a place for yourself. If I hadn't seen the port with my own eyes, I could never have imagined such a place. So, the school you were talking about, the academia, is it here?
Nope, we have to head north from here and follow the river to reach Sumeru City.
Sumeru City, huh? I guess it's even more impressive than here? Looking forward to it. I'm so excited. Whatever the case, why don't we go to Sumeru City? Oh, I'm so excited that I don't even know what I should be doing anymore.
The important thing about going on a trip is to enjoy yourself. You don't have to think so hard.
I'm just worried that if we don't get down to business soon, we'll take up too much of your time. But if you insist, then let's look around.
Welcome to Akara Crafts. Feel free to have a look around.
Wow, what are these? They're so cute.
This is our current bestseller, the Aranara carving. Their designs are based on the fairy tales that circulate amongst children, so they're very popular with them. Miss, are you from Inazuma? Oh, this would be a great gift for you to bring back home.
Oh, I know about Aranara. You two told me about them on the ship. I didn't think they'd be so cute. No wonder the kids like them. Oh, they're all so pretty. Let me take a better look.
Paimon knew Yoimiya would like this kind of thing. But even she might have a hard time seeing a real Aranara. Yeah, sorry, Yoimiya, but we need to keep our promise to the Aranara. That said, Paimon doesn't think Yoimiya would mind too much. Her world's already chock full of imaginary creatures.
I think I'll get this one. Ooh, that one. And the other two that you showed me earlier.
You're buying that many?
Yep, I'm going to give them out to Saika and the others. They're going to love them. Oh, and these carvings can also be used as prizes and matches against the Arataki gang. They'd also look great lined up by the window. Think about it. You wake up, and the first thing you see are these adorable critters. Wouldn't they brighten up your entire day? Okay, thanks. In that case, you take your pick too.
For some reason, Paimon thinks it kinda looks like you, Yoimiya.
Now that you mention it, it kinda does.
Hello, Nara Paimon. My name is Arania.
Is that how they talk? Hope I remember correctly.
That was really good! Wow, great memory! We only talked about Aranara that one time on the boat.
That's because they're so interesting. I'm pretty good at remembering those kinds of things.
Of course. Thank you for your patronage. You all are an entertaining bunch. I hope you enjoy your time here in Sumeru.
That's about it for Port Ormos. Next up is Sumeru City.
All right, let's get to it. Wow, this market is even busier than the one in Port Ormos.
This is Treasure Street. Up from here is the Academia. Oh, and in that tree trunk is the Grand Bazaar. They're both pretty special places.
I just saw a group of people come down, and they were all wearing the same outfit. Is that the Academia's uniform?
That's right. They also wear hats with different designs, depending on which darshan they're in. For example, we'll be looking for someone from Watawahist. They know a lot about stars and stuff.
Does this mean that you need uniforms like those to get in and out of the Academia?
Paimon doesn't think so.
Won't we stick out if we go in like this?
So even you get shy, huh?
No, that's not what I meant. Let's pretend you're an Academia student, hard at work. Then in comes a bunch of Outlanders in strange clothes who gawk and run around everywhere.
Oh, Paimon kinda gets what you mean.
I don't think we have to be too self-conscious, but it's still something to keep in mind. Why don't we look around here first? I've been wanting to see the Zubair Theater anyway. As for the Academia, let's go once I get myself a set of Sumeru-style clothes.
Alright, but Paimon thinks you're overthinking it. Nilu might have some good recommendations.
Sounds good. If we can watch a performance of hers while we're at it, that'd be even better. Alright, I'll be looking around here. I'm leaving the meteor shower inquiry to you two. Thanks a lot.
No problem. We'll be right back.
answer from this world?
From Watallahis, but now that Paimon thinks about it, no one really fits the bill. Paimon thinks Alhaitham might know something, but Paimon doesn't want to talk to him. Oh, why don't we just ask around? Maybe we'll run into someone from Watallahis.
Looks like you two are in a pickle. Why not consult someone who always tells you everything she knows?
Nahida! Why are you here?
I'm here to meet with some researchers, but when I saw you two looking so troubled, I decided to follow. Looks like I showed up just in time.
Okay, we might as well tell you. We have a friend who's come to Sumeru.
I see.
Your face says that it's gonna be a long time before the next meteor shower.
My answer is going to be even more of a disappointment. You may have heard that the stars are related to people's fates.
Yeah, lots of times.
If the stars dictate destiny, then do you think that destiny is something that is unchanging and always follows predicted outcomes?
You have a point.
According to current Watallahis research, a meteor shower is a celestial phenomenon that occurs due to the interference between many intricate fates. Their appearance is highly random. Some have tried coming up with ways to predict their occurrence, but the results are less than reliable. This is a far cry from folktales that claim meteor showers come at certain times and bless all who witness them.
So, you mean we won't be able to see one?
I'm sorry to disappoint you two.
If we tell this to Yoimiya, she'll be so disappointed. What now? There has to be something we can do.
Are you two okay? It seems the news hit harder than I expected.
Paimon just thinks this isn't fair to Yoimiya.
I get it. From how you described her, I can see that she is a kind and caring soul. So, why don't we take a page out of her book and protect her dreams with a well-intentioned lie?
Oh? How do we do that?
It'll be a story about a meteor shower. You'll accompany her on a brief journey, do a bit of work here and there, and then receive the meteor shower as a reward. Oh, well, I can't summon a real meteor shower, but if it's in a dream, I can help out.
Oh, that would be great, Nahida!
Compared to what you've done for me, this is nothing. Use the meteor shower as a pretext to take Yoimiya all around Sumeru. Then, when you're ready, blow this. I'll tell the Aranara in advance. Once they hear the whole story, I'm sure they'll be willing to help.
Huh. Then the dream will probably be like the one we had in the Avidia Forest, when we first met Hypatia. That was a real shocker. It was hard to tell that we were even in a dream.
Once the meteor shower ends and you all awaken from the dream, she'll probably realize what had happened. If you tell her the truth at that point, she should be a lot less disappointed.
Paimon thinks this is the best way to simulate the meteor shower. Thanks, Nahida!
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. Still, you two should get this story straight before you join up with your friend. If not, she's gonna see right through everything.
True. Let's discuss it on the way. So what we need to do is to make Yoimiya believe that the meteor shower is really happening, and be super convincing at how we sell it. If Paimon wanted to go see a meteor shower, the things Paimon would focus on the most would be... Yes, exactly! We'll say we're trying to figure these two things out, but we'll actually be bringing Yoimiya around to see the sights and enjoy local food. Oh, well, easier said than done. We can't be too strict with our pretexts, but we can't be sloppy with it either, or she'll see through it. It'd be best if we could take a unique approach to making it fantastical, just like a real fairy tale. Oh, that's right. Don't people also talk about wishing on a shooting star? If we used wishes as the center of our story... Whoa, that sounds great! Alright then, we need a specific wishing spot or else the sky would be full. And then, while we're supposedly finding or making this device, we'll go around and have fun and eat good food! This is shaping up to be the perfect plot. After all, the device can be anything, and the location can be wherever. As long as we get Yoimiya to enter the dream at night, things will be fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You should know Paimon pretty well by now. All right, let's go. Yoimiya's probably sick of waiting for us.
How's everything going with your thesis?
I should be able to publish it next month. A few days ago, I was worried that I'd have to stop my work on it. Thankfully, that didn't come to pass.
Well, Azar was one of your thesis advisors. Honestly, I was afraid that you might have gotten dragged down as well. How did things get settled?
The newly appointed acting Grand Sage reviewed all of our projects and gave us permission to continue our research.
Acting Grand Sage? That sounds like a new thing.
Yeah, I heard that selecting new sages has been taking some time, so he's just filling in. But it's all thanks to him that our research results weren't jeopardized. Once my paper is published, I'm definitely giving myself a long vacation and getting some much-needed rest. Mondstadt sounds like a good idea.
They're really out of their minds, making Al-Haytham the acting Grand Sage?
Take it easy, Professor. I'm puzzled as well. Just going by qualifications, you're one of our most preeminent scholars. I don't know why they picked a stripling like him.
Fool! Do you think I'm angry because I wasn't chosen for the position? No! It's because I don't understand why they chose him! He was one of my students, but he rarely attended class. When I asked him about it, he retorted that self-study was better use of his time. What brazen arrogance, misery of miseries, for the academia to have him as the acting grand sage?
Professor, don't get so worked up. I'll go get you some water.
Psst. Want to hear a secret? I've heard the new acting Grand Sage is from Haravatat.
Really? Who is it?
Someone named Alhaitham. Never met him myself, but he's a real hot topic right now. Lots of things being said about him. Hard to tell what's true and what isn't, though. There's also a Vahumana scholar who's been in the spotlight recently. They say that he's a likely pick to be one of the next sages.
Oh, is he teaching any courses? Maybe we should drop by.
Wow. News of Alhaitham being the acting Grand Sage sure spread fast. Some people don't know who he is, though. Guess he's less famous than Paimon thought. Some people are saying good things and others bad. Especially that old guy just now. He really doesn't like Alhaitham. Hey, are you okay? You don't look too good.
The Matra.
The Matra?
I'm Ilias. I have to talk to a Matra about something important.
In the state you're in? You shouldn't push yourself. Why don't you tell us what happened and we'll pass on your message to a Matra?
No, I have to tell them myself. They are the only ones I could trust. Sorry, can you lend me your arm? This is an important matter. Failure is not an option.
Since you put it that way, fine. We'll take you to a Matra. We promised to take him to a Matra, but we don't... Oh, wait! Sino should be back at the Academia! Let's go find him! Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list? Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go... we can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Huh, so you two are still hanging out together. Dia, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dia wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
But she said they'll treat you to the you can still refuse that!
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, looks like Dunyarzad was onto something.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's Relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dia. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to... Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Well, she's super tough, so if she went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took her along to help. I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
so much. If it weren't for your help, I would have gotten lost already.
It's no problem. I'll be heading home then.
Just a minute, wait. This is for you. This is an R&R carving I bought in Port Ormos. I heard it's very popular with kids, so here, have one.
It's alright. I didn't do much, really.
It's fine. Take it. Come on. Just look at its big, happy smile. You can display it at home or hang it on your wheelchair. It'll cheer you up. That might sound silly to you. Like, why do you have to be happy just because it is? But that's the magic of a smile. If you don't believe me, try it. Look at it a few times every day, and you'll understand.
Actually, I feel like I already do. You love talking, and you love smiling too. I just don't understand why you're so positive. I've never met anyone like you before. Sorry, I'm not very good with words, but since you say so, I'll accept your gift.
Want me to take you home?
It's okay. I can head back myself.
Oh, great timing, you two.
Who was that kid?
Oh, her? Her name is Abine. I saw that she was looking quite forlorn, so I wanted to make sure she wasn't feeling left out or alone. She was pretty shy at first, but I explained that I just arrived in Sumeru and had gotten lost, so I needed someone to help guide me. She agreed and we made our way back here. There were so many paths here, and they're all twisty, turny, and up and down. It's hard. No, she didn't want to talk about that, and I didn't ask. I get the feeling that'll bring up some unhappy memories. But if I had to guess, it's probably because she hasn't been able to explore the city for quite some time. All she said was that she's sick and doesn't know when she'll get better. Whenever we passed by busy crowds, she kept turning her head and taking in all the things around her. At first, I thought she was afraid that someone might bump into us. But when I caught a glimpse in her eyes, I only saw yearning and a deep sense of loss.
It's hard not to be down when something like that happens to you.
At first, she didn't really want to say anything to me at all. She just gave me yes and no answers. But what I really saw was just another child, and asked all the same things everyone else did, about rugs, spices, cooking, and the differences between here and home. Eventually, I think I earned her trust. There were many things that she liked in the city, after all. I say that, but honestly, you two probably caught the majority of what she said. Gotta start somewhere. Oh, by the way, did you guys learn anything about the meteor shower?
You bet we did. Big time. You're in luck, Yoimiya. You'll be able to see the meteor shower from Sumeru.
Really? That's great! If I had gone looking for it myself, I'm sure I would have missed it. Huh? What do you mean? They respond to wishes? Huh, I've never heard that one before. So it's not that you wish upon shooting stars, but that wishes summon them? In that case, I was born ready. Don't you worry.
Are you talking about how you want to use the meteor shower as inspiration for fireworks?
That's why I'm here, but I wouldn't call that my wish. I don't think that alone will call the stars down for us, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow, she's adding her own spin onto this.
If that's the case, then we'll have to practice wishing a little. Can you two come with me? Let me put my thoughts together and tell me if you understand. As for what my wish is, it's a secret for now.
Yeah, and we'll take the opportunity to show you some views you've definitely never seen before.
More places to see? All right, let's go.
These parts are safe for sure.
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before? He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history! All that stuff happened already in real life! It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Oh, Paimon's so confused. Huh? Ah! Sorry, Paimon accidentally... It's the Balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here. Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes, cream stew, sauteed matsutake, and Drayan chili chicken, almond tofu, satisfying salad. Oh, also Adeptus Temptation, golden shrimp balls, triple layered consomme, lotus seed and bird egg soup. What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about. What was it again? The Balladeer? Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name, though. What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said? So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something. Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but Is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
It's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Oh yeah, we were! Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will be right behind you. This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the Commissioner's behalf. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual on the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are and how much she admires you. I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all. I mean it. Whenever the commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away. The commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. But given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef than most. Oh, the commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes, too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. The way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one can truly be themselves. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole family gets together and they start talking about people they've met and experiences they've had, you always get a mention. It's been many years now since the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato passed away. Much has happened in the Kamisato clan in that time. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, it makes me so happy to see them meet a dependable friend whose company they enjoy so much. So, in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro Commission headquarters. There will always be at least one old lady who would be delighted to have the pleasure of your company. Wonderful. Thank you.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, you were saying something about the food here being really great. Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime. Paimon meant we should come pay a visit again real soon. Ideally around dinner time.
Of course. You're always welcome.
Alright, goodbye for now. We're, great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right, then. Take care now. Hope to see you soon.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
Rise.
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for? Something or someone?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the traveler in Paimon?
Xavier, what are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So what about you two?
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here. Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation, goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then, too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask already.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge? Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman, for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet, actually. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where Tatarasuna is concerned. Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon, come on. You gotta keep it together. Why don't you grab something to eat? You can't go facing life's challenges on an empty stomach. All right, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we join them?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh, of course.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well?
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma.
Wow, so many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well, so it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Amanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then she decided she wanted to go to Inazuma.
The Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name. You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me? Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
But how was he even able to do that?
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because, well, because he literally changed the world?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about her in Irminsul. And it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect her. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that. Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that, and if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense, every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything she has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the balladeer?
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki mono in other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew she'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. The now erased life of the balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail, that Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Ermin Soul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahida's right. Cheer up! How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation again later.
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take her out for a walk to clear her head?
You got it! Come on, Traveler! You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up. What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get something to eat. Have you figured it all out? Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias and ran off. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? Work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself get distracted. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsetias, and I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver a fruit bowl this evening.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you'd start asking for something in return eventually. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsetias, was it? I'll be right back.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsetias? Isn't that a bit too cruel? Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back. Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important. Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it. Is that true?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Then let's return to the city.
Go.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant that you don't want any pay for it. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why's this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why's he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable. You know, you should go live your life.
But I don't... No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me. We can go now.
Shoots is the best stall in the whole...
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation? Oh, okay. I see. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear. But I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, You hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street! He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything. What a weird situation.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to fill the void within me. Except maybe these sins that can never be undone.
Very well. As you wish.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep an eye on you.
Understood.
Thank you. Now, prepare yourselves, everyone.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but...
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
You could say that, in a sense. You'll see why shortly.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved, too. No mining crew would be capable of this. There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor disguised as a mechanic. The balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going.
Life goes on.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
Long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Use this first. Let's end this quickly. First. I guess this is it. That seemed to work. I must counterattack. Well met. Put your You can't run. Don't be a killjoy. We've only just begun. Slacking off. I see through you. It isn't time for a break yet. My work.
Nice
You got it. You can't run. Well, try. Don't be a killjoy. We've only just begun. You can't run. Well, try.
Windblade!
Rise.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the Delusion Factory in Inazuma.
In the original version of events, the Traveler once encountered the Balladeer here.
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so... Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the Doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you Being tossed out like trash must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending like you're above everyone else. Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results and your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Out of my sight. Life goes on.
Windblade! At the frying pan, into the fire!
This body belongs here to play with me. The more, the merrier.
Windblade!
Who can I find who might amuse me?
Can't run from death.
Wheel of life.
Nice and spicy!
You really know how to get me.
At the frying pan!
The more, the merrier.
Windblade! Goba, get them!
Go. No, cold. So cold.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
Guys.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self. I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free?
A puppet?
What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end. This is trying my patience.
Have you got all your memories back now?
You got any more stupid questions? Insignificant past! Too slow. Behold! Feeble human! Squall Fury! Bow your head! At my command, you shall fall! Quit following me. My endless cycle begins! Too slow. Insignificant past! Squall Fury!
Prepare to be blown away!
Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too! What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it. After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the sixth is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what secrets can be uncovered, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well. I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor, and I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you need to follow Nahida. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been for nothing.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No! Paimon only does nicknames! If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Have you got anything? Are you sure? Oh, all right. If you say so.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop rushing me!
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been. What's that look for? Don't make that face. I know what I'm doing. That day will come. All right. We're done here. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore. So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax for a while.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the epilogue. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, was forged, the people rejoiced, and there was painting, dancing, and drinking. All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime. Life is a story too long to be told, a journey that you must walk to behold.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, great! Huh? Look at that vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? Like, Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else... Who can say? When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate. Like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not?
Who are you? How do you know about all this?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff? Anyway, that vase is still lying there broken on the ground. Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up? It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
Wow! Is that what you two were talking about? Amazing! It's huge! Well, wait. It's not going to suddenly start moving, right?
Relax! It's completely still, and it's been ages!
That's true. It's green from all the overgrowth on it. All right, let's go. Now, this'll make for quite the story. I was wondering, have you seen your brother yet?
Yep, but he said that he'd meet us at the end of our journey, and then he left.
I see. It seems he has his own things to worry about. But it's all right. At least you were able to talk. How did he look? Was he doing well? Had he changed in any way?
Well, according to her, nothing's really changed. She's hanging in there.
That sure is reassuring. I believe that you two will come to an understanding once your journey is over. You are siblings, after all. We'd be able to climb all the way up here. What a great view! I just want to shout at the top of my lungs!
Yeah, and even though we might not be viewing the meteor shower from here, it's a good place to practice.
Oops, I was having too much fun and almost forgot about that. Before I left Inazuma, many people heard that I was looking for a meteor shower. So they told me that they wanted to make wishes. I told them that they could write their wishes down on paper. So I ended up collecting several dozens of wishes.
Whoa! That many?
That's part of it, but more importantly, I've been wondering why people link meteor showers and wishes in the first place. After a lot of thought, I think I figured it out. People use fireworks to remember their most precious memories, and these memories sparkle and shine each time the fireworks fly. In other words, fireworks symbolize the past. And shooting stars make people think of wishes, because wishes carry people's brilliant hopes and expectations for the future. One represents the past, and the other the future. They both bloom in the sky, but have completely different meanings behind them. It's really beautiful, isn't it? It's clear to me that I'm not the only one holding this belief. I'm sure my ancestor had similar views. I think that's how he drew inspiration from the meteor shower. His method was a wish of sorts to begin with, to join the past and future together and combine their beauty. At first, I wasn't completely serious about using the opportunity to travel abroad to see a meteor shower. But it became something like a mission once everyone had handed their wishes over to me.
Yoimiya. Well said. And here Paimon thought you needed practice.
Huh? That was fine? You both understand what I'm trying to say? Honestly, I thought it was pretty messy. I mean, these are all abstract topics that evoke a sense of admiration that's hard to put into words.
Traveler?
I did consider that possibility, and I won't lie. It'd be a real bummer if that were the case. I know that's the most realistic conclusion, and it's not like luck has to be on my side. But there's a premise to every legend, and that's belief. If I didn't take the step, it's not like a meteor shower would just rain upon me either. I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have known that they respond to wishes, and I wouldn't have seen all these beautiful sights in Sumeru. So I'm looking forward to the rest of our journey. Every single step of it.
You really are amazing, Yoimiya.
What?
Oh, nothing. Paimon just thinks you're doing a good job with the wishes. Now we just need one other thing. Like we said earlier, we're gonna need to build a device. Yep, and once we use it to create an observation device, we can find where the meteor shower will be.
I see. The purest ore. Then why don't we go back to Sumeru City and ask the blacksmith? I chatted with him a bit when Aveen was showing me around. He seems really knowledgeable. I bet he'll know something.
But wouldn't we be bothering him?
No one knows more about ore than a blacksmith.
That's true.
Let's go. I wish we could fly over.
What are we gonna do? If we really ask the blacksmith, he's gonna give us funny looks for sure. You're right. Paimon will do her best not to say anything wrong. At first, Paimon felt bad about keeping Yoimiya in, but now, it feels like we made the right decision. Yep, that's why we're doing all this.
You want to use the purest material to create a star observation device? That pair of specially crafted lenses should do the job. However, purest material is too vague. It'd be better if you were more specific. Firstly, this all sounds rather, strange. I never heard that legend about meteor showers. You sure you're not just messing with me?
Sorry for the trouble, but we are kind of messing with someone.
Sorry, Inazuma's pretty far, so maybe some key information got lost across the ocean. Still, I want to at least give it a shot. Even though the information's vague, can you help us at all?
Well, sure. Why don't I use some materials that might fit the bill and create up a mock-up device for you?
That'd be great! Thanks so much for your help.
No need to be so polite. You're my customer. Also, this kind of project is a nice change of pace.
Maybe we can just pick a random one. It's not like we're really gonna use it anyway.
No, that won't do. I don't think I can justify that to myself. If these were for ordinary use, then it'd be acceptable. Barely. But if you want a product that is top-notch, this is far from ideal.
Why are you so interested all of a sudden? Yeah, what now?
Don't worry too much about the material. If you think it'll be difficult to obtain, we can get it for you. I want to try all our options.
Since we're on the topic of legends, allow me to tell you one about blacksmiths. All of us in Sumeru know about this legendary forging material. It possesses excellent properties that are matched by no other. Using it to forge something is every blacksmith's dream. Some spend their entire lives searching for this material in vain, while others have it in their possession, yet never use it in their forge.
Huh? Why's that?
That's because the material is too precious. Many believe themselves unworthy to work with it due to a lack of skill. In other words, not only does it represent the pinnacle of material quality, but also the culmination of a smith's skills. I constantly practice and hone myself, so when I do encounter this material, we won't pass each other by like two ships in the night.
So, you mean that it symbolizes dreams?
Dreams, inspiration, obsession, focus. Call it what you want. But if you take it to symbolize purity, then I believe it is your goal as well. We call it Earthstone, but in truth, neither I nor my colleagues have ever seen it. It's more like a goal, and also a warning.
This fits perfectly with the tale of the meteor shower. Then, why don't we go looking for it?
Is it even something we can find?
Exactly! We're chasing down a legend after all. What's true or not doesn't matter as much. If we do find it, that's a big win for us. And if we don't, maybe we can still find something that could be used as a substitute.
When you put it like that...
Hey, excuse me. If I might intrude, have you seen a child in a wheelchair?
Yeah, she and I were hanging out not that long ago. What's the matter?
Do you know where she went? She hasn't returned home yet.
Huh? I wonder why. When we split up, she said she was heading home.
Oh, dear. Oh. I'm sorry if I seem worked up. I'm Avine's mother. She's been depressed ever since she fell ill and was forced to use a wheelchair. I'm concerned about her mental health. If she does something reckless because she's not in a good state of mind...
It's okay, don't worry. We'll help you find her. I can't say that I know her very well, but I think she just has a lot on her mind and is trying to come to terms with her feelings.
That's reassuring. She doesn't want to tell me anything, probably because she thinks nothing she says would make either of us feel better. But I can't tell what she's thinking if we don't communicate. I'm worried that I'll panic and make things worse by saying the wrong thing.
Don't worry. I'm sure she has a reason for wanting some space to herself at the moment. We should just... But that does bring me to a question I've been mulling over in my head. Do you think there's something else going on in her life?
Not that I'm aware of. I just know the illness was a big blow to her. She's always been physically active. She absolutely loved to run and jump, and she told me that she wanted to become a great adventurer someday. But after she became ill, she lost strength in both legs. She hasn't been able to stand since. We've consulted with countless doctors, but they're all stumped. They said all she can do is slowly recuperate. No one can say for sure if she'll ever stand or walk again. She believes that her legs will never recover, and her dreams of seeing the world would be forever shattered. This was all too sudden. Too unfair.
Okay, I understand. I'll find a way to bring her around. Sorry, but it looks like we'll have to put our meteor shower search.
We're coming with you!
Blacksmith, do you remember seeing a child in a wheelchair?
Sorry, afraid not. I've been keeping my eyes on my anvil. But you're looking for someone, I suggest dropping in on Sadeg. He's my supplier. If anyone's aware of the comings and goings in Treasure Street, it'd be him.
Do you know where we can find him?
He's probably resting just over there. It's not far.
Got it. Thanks for your help with everything. We'll go over there and see what we can find out. Don't worry, I don't think she's gone too far.
Thank you so much. He and I will continue asking around in the city. If you find her, please, let me know. Thanks again for helping.
Excuse me? Have you seen a child in a wheelchair?
Now that you mention it, that does ring a bell. I was moving some boxes at the time and I saw her pushing her wheelchair so hard she was panting. I asked if she needed help, but she didn't respond, as if she didn't hear me.
Sounds like there really was something on her mind.
Yeah, that was the impression I got too. What's wrong? Did she go missing?
Yes, so we're looking for her.
I see. That's rather worrying. I know. I'll ask my friends and see if they know anything. She went that way. If you ask people as you go, hopefully you'll track her down.
Okay, thanks. If you find out anything, don't forget to tell the people with the green scarves.
You mean the core of 30. Don't worry, I got it.
A child in a wheelchair. Sorry, I didn't see anyone like that. I was organizing some things.
Excuse me, we're looking for a child in a wheelchair?
Oh, I remember her. She went that way not too long ago. I asked her what she was doing. It's my job, after all. She just said she had something important to do and didn't want to be disturbed.
That seems a little weird.
Whatever the case, she left the city. If you follow that road, you should be able to find her.
Gotcha. Thanks a lot. Hello there. Did a child in a wheelchair pass this way?
A wheelchair? Oh, so that's what it was. I didn't get a good look, but something going pretty fast went sliding down that slope over there.
Oh no, how dangerous.
For sure. There's terrain of all sorts outside the city, and if that was the kid...
Got it. It was over there, right? We'll be going now. Thanks.
Hey, are you alright?
I fell off my wheelchair. I can't move around without it. Why? Why?
It's okay. You're okay. You're not hurt. I'll take care of her. Can you two look for her wheelchair?
No problem. We'll be right back. wheelchair, so the hilly trail's looking. We gotta get it back before they damage it!
All right, we're in luck. Looks like the wheelchair's still working.
That's good. Or else my family would have to pay for another one.
You feeling any better? I know that must have been really scary for you. It's all right. You're safe now. We'll bring you back. Do you feel okay telling me why you had to come here despite the risks? If you don't want anyone else to know, we'll definitely keep it a secret.
That's right! You can trust us!
The Aranara carving. My bestest friend. He went missing.
The carving? Mean the one I gave you?
Yeah. My illness is really bad. It's not just my legs. I've forgotten a lot of stuff too. I used to love running. I loved the feeling it gave me, and the sound of wind rushing by my ears. But the longer I sit, the cloudier those memories get. I'm starting to forget how it feels to love something. But when I saw that wood carving, I remembered that I once had a best friend. He'd always run with me.
Wait, was he an Aranara? Paimon meant that it couldn't have been an Aranara, right? They're just fairy tale characters.
But they aren't. They're real. They couldn't be more real.
Hey, I understand. Okay, let's calm down. Tell us what happened so we can help you.
Sorry. I got carried away. And I don't have any evidence to show you. Everyone says you can't see Aranara anymore once you become an adult. You have to say goodbye to your Aranara friends forever. I can't remember his name, or how he looked like. And soon, I'll even forget that he used to run with me. I don't want to become an adult. Not like this.
I understand now. When you saw that carving, you were reminded of your friend. You came out here to look for him and remember that friendship, no matter how difficult things got. Isn't that right?
Yes. I want to see him. I want to tell him that I'm not angry with him, and that I didn't want to break our promise. But then, this happened. I'm not angry with him. Not at all.
Cheer up. Something beautiful has happened.
Beautiful?
That's right. You remembered something about the Aranara, haven't you? Once you start remembering more things, you'll be able to find your friend again. And I'll help you.
Yoimiya, does this mean that you can also see Aranara?
Sorry, I don't know if I can. I've only just arrived in Sumeru. Maybe I haven't seen one yet, or maybe I can't see them at all. But that doesn't matter. Whether I can see them or not doesn't change my belief that you can.
What do we do? Paimon really wants to help her. She didn't deserve any of this. Not her illness, or being separated from her friend, but...
Huh? Me? Sure. Sorry. Wait here for a moment. I'll be right back. What's wrong? You look so serious all of a sudden. Oh, did you think I was overpromising back there? Don't worry, I have experience with this kind of thing. To her, reuniting with her Aranara friend is the result. But recapturing her past joy and belief in herself is the process. and that's where our help is needed. I'm guessing that her sudden illness made her feel like she may not be able to realize her dreams anymore. It also made it difficult for her to hold on to the happy memories and dreams she had. Everyone has their own imagination. After some chance coincidence, she met Aranara. So as long as we help her rediscover that same feeling she once had, her Aranara will return naturally.
Oh, so that's what you're thinking.
Adults only want to believe in objective reality. In doing so, they may unintentionally do harm to the innocent fantasies of children. But I think there are ways to get even subjective things back. So, how about it? Want to help me out?
Looks like all this excitement made you forget your original goal again.
If we didn't do anything to help, I wouldn't be able to watch a meteor shower, even if it appeared right now. And would the stars really want their caller to have such a heartless soul? What are you trying to say?
Because we can actually summon the Aranara.
Really?
Just watch. We have some tricks up our sleeves.
Whoa. So, this is an Aranara. I'm the one who should be apologizing. Sorry, let me explain. I know that you only want to be seen by people you trust. It's rash of me to butt in. But this girl once had an Aranara as her best friend, and they haven't met in a very long time. She's been quite ill, and her world has been turned upside down. It's been so long since she's been able to see her friend that even her memory of him has become hazy. Parting with a friend like that is too sad, and she never wanted that to happen. That's why I want to help her. Her world is still very small. Too small for all the sadness she has to bear. As things are, all she can do is sit alone and think about how happiness is leaving her little by little. About how life has been so unfair to her. Yes, maybe we're already used to bad luck and we know how to deal with feelings of sorrow and disappointment. But this is her first time dealing with any of this. Life can trip anyone up. What's most important in times like this is for us to support one another.
Huh? What do you mean by that? So, that means...
Thank you! Thanks for trusting us.
Paimon's been meaning to ask what you meant by prepared.
Dreams. But I'll never be able to stand again. Even if I can recover, I don't know how long that'll take. My heart?
Huh? He's gone just like that? It looks like the sky here has changed somewhat.
My heart. It wasn't hard at all, and it didn't feel weird. It was like how things were before I got sick.
Wait, so that means we're not our first time in one. No wonder Araporva said not to worry. Aveen can move freely in this dream.
Wow, that's amazing! Is this the power of my heart?
How amazing! Now we can all look for Arashani together. Come on, let's race. Let me see how good you really are.
I might not have recovered yet. Whatever, let's go. I won't lose, not even to an adult.
And off she goes! Well, this was easy. Paimon thought she'd need more time. That's true. Let's catch up with them.
If we had run any further, you would have caught up.
Aveen was neck and neck with Yoimiya.
I've outran lots of adults before. Long legs don't necessarily mean you run faster. Training's important too.
I won't even be able to compete with you in a few years. Let's see. Where should we go next?
Look! Something's floating up ahead!
Does it want us to follow it?
Maybe. Let's follow it. Want to keep chasing after it? You're not feeling worn out yet?
Getting tired is part of running, and I love everything about running.
Huge mushrooms here! They're big enough to lie on!
That's not what they're for! Let me show you!
So, this is our destination? But Paimon doesn't see an Aranara, just this big stone.
I'm so happy. I almost forgot how it feels to be this happy. You know, at first, it felt like my world had shrunk down to a tiny space. But as long as I continue moving forward, new sights will always appear in front of me. And my world will keep expanding before my eyes. Even though I don't know how I did it, I know I have you all to thank.
Oh, that's not important. What's important is that you've remembered the joy of going through the world. Our memories don't just symbolize our past, they can also shine a light in our future. Once you find the hope in your heart again, that happiness will come back to you.
Yes. Thank you, Yoimiya. Thank you all. Let's keep looking for Arashani. It doesn't look like he's here.
Yeah. Then why would the star lead us here?
I don't know how to explain this. I don't know what it is, but it feels very familiar. Almost like it's a part of me.
I know! Could this stone be your Earthstone?
Earthstone?
It's a very rare ore that symbolizes a person's aspirations and dreams. Since you can see it, that means you've found what you've lost.
Is that how it works? It's just like in fairy tales. I thought I'd stopped believing in those. But I'm glad that I found that belief again.
They passed right through!
Let's go after them!
Hey, Yoimiya! Hey! Well, we have no choice. We passed through, but nothing seems to have changed.
Arashani?
The R&R is sure of a flair for magical journeys. They not only helped Davine find her best friend, but they also showed us what an Earthstone is. Oh, we have to look for one of our own later, to make the purest lens.
Yep. It's kind of funny, but Paimon thinks we can actually do it.
But we have to bring her back to Sumeru City first. Her mother must be worried sick.
The dream ended.
We dreamed a most lovely dream. Don't look so lonely. He's right next to you.
Arashani! You're still here! It's okay. I understand. This happened because I lost sight of myself. But I think I understand now. Yoimiya's right. Everyone gets bad luck, but we have to support each other through unlucky times. Thanks for helping me rediscover my memories and dreams. I won't let your work go to waste.
You've also helped us a lot, so don't be so humble. To be honest, we didn't know where to start with the Earthstone. But now that we're on this track, I think we'll find it easy.
Yoimiya, you need this Earthstone because you want to see a meteor shower?
Yep. Oh, once we find it, you should come with us.
If that's how things are, I'm happy to lend you my Earthstone.
What just happened? Did you just take glasses out of your chest?
How'd you know we'd need this?
I didn't. I just thought that since you helped me find my precious friend, I should help you using something precious to me. And then the light turned into this. Is this what you needed?
Thank you. I didn't expect us to solve our problem like this. All right, time to give it a go. Not that I know how to use it, but let's see what my intuition says. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, I think I see it! Oh, it was, pretty obvious. Come on, I'll lead the way. Once we're done watching the meteor shower, I'll accompany you home. Also, thank you for helping us. Actually, let me scrap the pleasantries and give you a heartfelt compliment instead. You all are great storytellers. Just like fireworks.
We're waking up already? But Paimon wants to watch more.
The meteors we summoned flew up from the ground. They were exactly like fireworks. Ugh, I could have kept watching that forever. That was the realest, grandest, most magical dream I've ever had.
Paimon too! Paimon didn't expect you to just pull us onto that shooting star, though.
Honestly, I didn't think about it at all. I just thought it'd be a shame if we didn't try something crazy. You know me. It really doesn't matter to me if our experience was real or a dream. I really should thank you two, though. You set all this up as a backup plan because you knew that meteor showers are hard to catch, right? Don't worry. I loved it so much. I think this ranks as the absolute best gift I've ever been given.
Oh, whew. That's good. Paimon was afraid you might be angry after hearing the truth.
Why would I be? I dreamed about helpful, friendly, cute Aranara. I dreamed that we ran and jumped atop large mushrooms and we discovered Earthstone in a very unexpected way. And when I thought we had woken up, the next part was even more amazing. From her heart, Athene brought forth Earthstone glasses. We found meteors that flew up from the Earth. And we even became one with the shooting stars themselves. That's right. Dreams themselves may be imaginary, but they're also experiences that can never be relived or replicated. If we were sticklers about truth in fiction, we would have missed out on so much beauty and emotion.
You sure know your way with words. Paimon's gonna bump you up a few places on the Paimon's best friend list. By the way, the Aranara, they don't usually like,
Oh yeah! They're so cute! We really have to thank those lovely carvings.
The wood carvings?
Yeah! If we hadn't seen those wood carvings, then we wouldn't have dreamed of such cute Aranara.
Huh.
Don't worry, I know. I think they're very cute, and I'm happy to protect them. Well, it's almost time. Let's send her home. Meru's such a nice place. I'll be back for sure.
You will always be welcome here. Aveen would be happy to see you again.
It's a deal. I'll be waiting for you.
You got it.
Yoimiya, before you go back, I want to tell you about my new dream. I want to travel to Inazuma on my own and watch a fireworks show there.
Wow, that's impressive. I didn't expect to be introduced to new customers while on vacation. Don't worry, I'll make you some fireworks that you'll never forget. You do as well. No matter how busy your adventures get, remember to come back to Inazuma. We'll always welcome you no matter when you drop by. You gotta come and watch the fireworks this meteor shower inspired as they soar high in the sky.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, why'd you just shout that out? It's embarrassing. Oh yeah, by the way, have a look at this. That's right, this is the one you helped me pick. And you said it looked kind of like me. I went to buy another one. This one's for you. Look at it whenever you're feeling down. Who knows? Maybe it'll raise your spirits. If nothing else, you'll know that I'm supporting you all the way. Of course, meeting in person is still better. Okay, I'll be heading back now. I'm sure we'll meet again soon. I really loved the trip you prepared for me. In fact, I'm totally impressed. No matter where you two go, I know that our friendship and its warmth will support you. So, go forward, to the end of your journey and to the ends of this world. See you around.